Welcome to our Greek Revival project in East Grand Rapids, Michigan.
If you can believe it, this is a new build, even though it looks like it's been here for years. Come inside and take a look.
This vestibule that greets you when you walk in the door is just quintessential classic architecture. With the fan light and the matching glass on the interior wall, it's just a beautiful space to enter and to receive guests. And we detailed it with some of the most beautiful paneling and crown detail and casing and headers. It's just so pretty.
And I feel like there's so much outside that greets you too. The gas lanterns, the leaded glass windows.
The fluted columns.
Yeah, the columns, the limestone facade, that when you come in and you see even more detail, it's almost overwhelming.
Yeah, in a good way.
It's so good. It is so pretty.
But Grace, talk about this floor. Yeah,
this floor is such a showstopper. When you have a small space like this, you can really have fun with pattern and play with that. So this is a teeny tiny mosaic. So there's almost no grout. The joints are so small, but it all together creates this beautiful plaid because it has 3 tones in it. It has a dark tone, a mid-tone, and then kind of a warmer tone mixed in.
Yeah, it's just a beautiful floor that works so well in this classic millwork space. And it leads so nicely into the herringbone oak flooring. And now we're into the great room with the straight laid. Same material, same width boards. This is just exceptional. This runner that the client had, we just immediately, when we were actually even laying out the home, we knew this was the spot for this runner. This is kind of a really cool transition space between the living room and the kitchen. But should we go to the kitchen first?
Yeah, let's talk about the kitchen.
Yeah, and another way of defining space is, building this whole cased opening to define the space between the transition area and the kitchen itself.
Yeah, totally.
And the ceiling treatment is really interesting in here too. It's a very classic pattern, this drop coffer, I guess you'd call it. It's just simple, elegant, painted the same color as the walls and all the other millwork. But what about this kitchen, Grace?
It's so pretty. I love the blue cabinetry. I think it's kind of a bold move to go blue in your main kitchen, but it really works in here since everything is so soft, and you really kind of need a defining element, and that blue really makes it. And I love how it's separated into kind of a dining space and a kitchen space, but the blue on the cabinetry is continued throughout the perimeter.
It really does give the whole room balance, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, and then putting in the oak island creates that more furniture look of bringing in a different material. This is an induction cooktop. I am starting more and more to really love cooking on induction. And it's a really clean, smooth surface that's easy to keep looking clean, and it can be used even when you're not cooking on it as a surface. I think it's great, and I think it's fun to use it here. So it's a range alcove, but it's one of the first times we've ever done a range alcove where we haven't used an actual range. And we've instead put a cooktop and then put the oven somewhere else, which we will show later. This is just detailed, with keeping the slab together, but bringing in brass strips for accents and little ledge.
How about the countertop
material
on the ceiling? Well, and that is what really gets all the cooking gunk goes up, and so to have something wipeable on the ceiling of a range alcove is a really smart move.
That is very true. It's very functional, and the wipeable up to 24 inches is also very functional. Keeping a shallow shelf here is important. If you project too much, you're interfering with the exhaust. But having a little spot up here for salts and oils and things is very handy, because sometimes you really need all the counter space to be working. But this is just outfitted so nicely with all of the things,
Yeah.
slotted lid drawer layers inside the cabinet. There's just,
The function is amazing.
it really is. There's a lot that can be stored here. And then, when you're cooking, you always need to use, this is where you use your spices. So this is very handy too.
Another workstation sink.
Yeah, I think we like
I
this.
think we like this
I
look
think we
with
like
the stone
prolific
front.
Yep. It's so pretty and it just feels so traditional. And it's also super functional, just because
Yep.
this is the water spot. And
Yep.
you can really save the finish on the cabinetry by doing that. This was one of the most beautiful things of working with this client is that, she's collected things over the years that are great things that have lasting interest and she's got a very good eye. And so this table is an example of something she's had for a very long time. And to already have that good stuff to work with on a project.
Yeah, it was kind of the dream.
The dream. And then, isn't this smart though? The leather seat where all the, all the stuff kind of you worry about when you're with kids and stuff, dining spots. It's easy to clean up, but then bringing the cute fabric on the back.
Right, that coordinates with the stripe on the banquette. It's just so pretty.
It's so beautiful.
And I just love a good cafe curtain too.
Me too. These cremone bolts are, typical for a lot of really beautiful things in Europe. And so I think that was a voice we were trying to bring here, is a very European sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nice.
Just
Okay,
amazing storage too.
Don't you love this detail though? Of the two doors together make one panel.
Yep.
So, and the trick, to making this is we made the panel and then cut the panel in half and finished all of it. Another thing that I love is on this coffee bar, how the panel went all the way around the perimeter.
Yeah.
So it created this, it's almost like picture framed, the space.
I think if it was just a drywall alcove in this house, it would have felt a little bit lacking because of all the millwork, where this makes it feel really complete in here.
My favorite cabinetry details is these very shallow pilasters that go over the seam between the two cabinets, and then the little square molding that details around,
So pretty.
in between the drawer and the door.
So pretty.
And dies into the furniture base, and we had to pad out the furniture base a little bit to create a spot for the pilasters to die into. It's just every little detail. So beautiful. Okay, look at this view right here.
With this paneled arch.
The paneled arch with the window centered on the herb wall, flower wall, green wall. Isn't that the most beautiful thing? This is probably one of the prettiest rooms on earth, I think, with all of the built-in cupboards.
With the vent holes.
With the vent holes, just because they're so cute.
Yep. A ton of storage.
All kinds of storage.
Here's where the double oven is.
With all tray storage above. Do you want to show that? So platter storage, tray storage. This is a great place to do vertical storage when you can't really reach it. Otherwise, it's too high.
Warming drawers down here.
And then this is really where the big fridge is, with everything stocked. This is one of the most beautiful work tables. It's multifunctional for her because she loves baking, so she needs a cold surface to roll out dough. But it's also nice to have the wood to do chopping or other things. And the brass strip in between the two materials, really.
And this is really a feat to get this bullnose edge and then seamlessly transition into the walnut and then come around the corner. It's just craftsmanship at another level. And I love that the whole thing is on casters. So if you're working more down here, you could bring it this way. If you're working more down here, you could bring it this way. It's really a versatile piece. You could roll it out into the hallway if you wanted to set up something here. It just makes this space all that more functional to have something movable.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, and so working around the room, just, as Here's all of the things to bake with. All the ingredients are down here in mixing bowls, and for melting chocolate, an induction cooktop, a microwave oven. It's this exceptional view of tall window. It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. I love that this is framed on the arch, and then you have another sink in here. Just functionally, another sink is always nice.
Yeah.
And a full-size one at that.
Yeah.
And then just more storage and a great area for her to do the work that she needs to do.
Yeah, so over here, she has quite the cookbook collection that she uses, and then here's her desk to work on all of her projects with cooking and the other things that she does for the family business. But, and then this view frames the backyard and the pool, and this is just one of the most beautiful spaces. Rolling ladder.
There's also an amazing ladder that you can take off of this. Oh. It's got hooks. You could take it off of this and bring it around to the cabinetry. But it rolls
all
around.
shelves.
Here's the stove tower.
Yep. It's a great pot, a stove. I know I've been using it and I love it. Another reason why this room is just so dialed in is because of the tongue and groove on the walls and the ceiling. So every surface is in the Stoffer Home Cabinetry Bromley taupe color. And it just is like the room is enveloped with this millwork and this color, and contrasting it with the marble floor. And
all right, let's go to the mudroom.
okay.
What's cool about this mudroom is there's an entire set of laundry, which is very handy. And then you've got a little surface, which is also great. A great thing to put into a mudroom because you're always setting something down, keys, whatever you have.
Mail.
And then there's also storage above and below that for mail, packages, that sort of thing.
You have to see this. Sorry, I'm trumping you just because I'm so excited about it. This is a beautiful tongue and groove wall, right? But look at this. This is the closet, the coat closet. Don't you love it? Oh, so pretty. And down this way is, through these beautiful cased openings and doorways and paneled walls, is a very pretty little feature. This is a pretty unique powder room. First of all, the vanity looks like a piece of furniture. It's similar to a piece her mother had in the house she grew up in that was made out of a piece of furniture for their vanity. So this is just nostalgic for her. But Grace?
Right, you don't typically see a set of French doors inside a bathroom, but for the architecture of the exterior, this really needed to be a set of French doors to make the exterior make sense.
Lest anyone be very concerned.
Yes.
The
actual water
WC
closet is in a separate space.
Without a window.
Yes. But in here, the millwork is about 3/4 up the wall, and then there's this really precious wallpaper that goes on top of that.
So pretty.
If we head this way, we go to another favorite room. But I think maybe every room is a favorite room.
I'm thinking maybe. Yes, this is an absolutely beautiful room. There's so many things I like about this, but what the architect James LaRue thought of in here feels like he is so in tune with old homes. He's out of Chicago. He does a lot of his work there. He's worked on some David Adler homes there. I mean, he is the real deal. And this room was supposed to be maybe a later enclosed breezeway between the house and the garage. And that's why the brick wall, because the exterior of the home is this brick.
Yep, and you can see it through to the outside.
Exactly. This is really, really important detailing. This all then makes sense. You can see it through on the front, you can see it through to the back. It didn't need to be detailed as far as structure, but it needed it to make sense architecturally.
Yeah. And it just gives that element of texture and earthiness that a garden room should have.
Yeah.
Same with the stone floor. It gives it exactly the look that it needs. And I love how we took kind of the floor finish and brought it up to the countertop with the drain board, sink made out of the same countertop material, backsplash out of the same material, and a stone shelf with stone brackets.
Yeah. And of course, building out, this is another feature that shows like the details were handled, because this wall is off of the brick wall enough to show that you put furring material and then applied the tongue and groove. And so it's quite a bit proud of the brick wall, which makes sense architecturally. This is such a beautiful space.
Yeah, I love how the triple light fixture kind of says, okay, this is your entry, this is your first seating area, this is your second seating area.
Yeah, in a classic home like this, you want a fireplace moment that doesn't have a TV above it. But this is the family space, so they really did want a TV. This idea then of having two separate groups, one for TV watching and one for gathering around the fireplace, seemed the complete natural.
Yeah.
But the ceiling fixtures are gorgeous, but also the ceiling millwork helps define these spaces.
Absolutely.
And so there's this trim that is almost like the reflection of an area rug. Like this is its own space and has its own function. But talk about millwork. I mean, our cabinetry here with the grill work from England and the crown detailing is just really, really so beautiful. I love these ceramic backed light fixtures.
So pretty.
Brings in such a pretty texture.
This is a great space for the office too, kind of off of the main space toward the front of the house, really pretty light pouring in. And the all oak cabinetry is really pretty. And the pairing of this really kind of traditional paneling wood room with the modern light fixture is perfect.
It's pretty perfect.
Now the last room on the first floor, but not least.
No, it's not least. Is that the truth?
Is this gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous room.
This is, I don't know, I think I have tied for favorite about 6 rooms. But this room that is called the Orangery, I think because of all of the light coming through the windows and the ceiling, is a very, very beautiful room that's just flooded with natural light. I love it.
This cabinetry is gorgeous too, with the dark plum color and again with the wire mesh from England. And then I love that there's an interior window where you look into the rooms we were just in.
But this is a heated floor, so this room is going to be so comfortable year round and also has such a great orientation to the backyard. It's kind of nice that it's on ground level too. You know, you're right where all the action is in the backyard without having to go down steps. It's very nice. The detailing in this hallway is so pretty.
So pretty, and that iron railing is so nice too.
Beautiful.
Another stunning room.
Another stunning room.
It's overwhelming.
I'm not sure, but like any person that loves sewing, crafts, this is just an amazing room. I was like channeling my 80s, 90s self when we were thinking about this room, because I used to sew a lot of things back in the day. And to have a spot that you could do laundry, sew, store things in such beauty.
It's like it hits so many boxes or checks so many boxes of stuff that you need for function in a house, but it also just happens to be absolutely beautiful.
It's so pretty. Okay, and here's another example of bringing old architecture ideas into new spaces to make a house look maybe like it's been here a long time. And this room was separated by, what could have been a full wall at some point, and then they decided to break through and incorporate these two rooms as one. And it also kind of makes the two functions of the room have a nice separation, a beautiful separation.
Totally, and the curved millwork is so impressive. A glass cabinet door. This feels also like a very old home thing to have, a linen closet or linen cupboard.
Yep.
Very cute.
Yeah, this is a really beautiful element here. Everything has to happen in the planning stages. And we really wanted this paneling going up partially and then the wallpaper above it. But when it dies into things, you always have to plan for where you dye it into. And in this case, we were dyeing it into the style of this cabinet. So we had to make sure that our capping piece was no bigger than the style of the cabinetry, or just coordinate that in the planning stage.
And then here's the little sewing desk with the scallop apron.
So pretty. Just the little details.
Should we talk about what this is?
Yes. So I think, quintessential in so many British homes are the air dryer. And it's really convenient because you can, since it's on a pulley here, you can pulley it all the way up to the ceiling, so very long things can hang on it and you can still reach it. But you can put the long things on at a height where you reach it and then pull it up so that it can dry out.
It's so nice to have a little refrigerator upstairs.
Especially if you're working up here for, hours at a time to just have water. And then all the guest rooms are up here too, so it's very nice to have water or the baby bottle.
Right, totally. Yeah, this feels so English to me. The wooden knobs with the cream-colored wardrobes spanning the entire wall, and then turning into the sink with Carrara marble that goes up to the windowsill.
And has a cafe curtain.
It has a precious cafe curtain that coordinates with the wallpaper perfectly.
It really does.
Should we talk about the floor?
We absolutely should. Yeah. The two materials, the honed Nero and honed limestone. This pattern is just very interesting. It's like an oversized pinwheel. Like we've seen those in so many bathrooms of old homes, those tiny mosaic pinwheel. And this is kind of an expanded.
This transition too, where the arches, I love that, how it's just stacked of the field.
Which is
limestone.
Cool because it's like another nod of, there maybe used to be a wall here.
Right.
And we took out the wall and then we patched it.
All right, primary suite.
Yes. It's a very pretty space. It's very subtle, color-wise and pattern-wise. And it's just elegant.
Yeah, this is a really fun door style, isn't it? On the doors, how it has the bullnose along the edge.
And it looks really good with our, our standard beveled sticking profile on our cabinetry. It's really quite pretty. It brings a different dimension, doesn't it? The archway in the bathtub with windows is such a beautiful layout always. And I love how in one side there's tucked in a linen cabinet, and the other side there's tucked in a makeup vanity. It's a great use of space. Okay, to me, one of my favorite things is this view of the centered bathtub in this arch with the very traditional bath filler and the very in-polished nickel. And then the modern light fixture in aged brass. This is like a study, I feel like, in how to mix metals, with plumbing fixtures being polished nickel and some accessories, hardware being like an aged
Yeah.
bronze.
What's that called, that finish? It's called like, it's like unlacquered bronze or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because see how it starts to patina around the edges?
And then the modern brass light fixtures and very modern fixtures.
Yeah.
And I also think the mixture of the millwork, the tongue and groove on the walls and the paneling above the cabinetry, along with the tile, and then just the softness of this stone, the quartzite sea pearl.
Yeah.
It's just all very subtle. I love it. Just the mixture in this room alone of the light fixtures, this opaline glass.
I love that
Ceiling fixture, and then the frosted glass sconces, the discs for the brass, and then the tubular design of the picture light. It's just, wow. It's a very, very pretty home. Pretty room, pretty home.
So pretty.
It is so pretty. Well, thank you for coming along with us and touring our Greek Revival project in East Grand Rapids. We hope you loved it.
Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos. Thank you.